One of the more unusual things TV has become known for over the last 20 years is the musical episode. You know, where the cast of an at least semi-serious show suddenly drops what they're doing and breaks into song for some reason.
Every single night, the same arrangement, I go out and fight the fight.
It has happened more than you might think. And one of the easiest places to excuse a plot that involves people breaking out into unrehearsed yet somehow intricately choreographed song and dance numbers is genre TV. Because there can always be a spell, or some technology, or a trickster demon, or a supervillain. Musical TV is a weird subgenre. But that doesn't make it any less densely populated. Supernatural featured an all-female cast of kids performing a musical based on the mostly male-driven Supernatural books. The Flash and Supergirl did it easily since both its stars used to be on Glee, a show whose characters are so consistently ridiculous that it might as well be science fiction. Eli Stone had visions, which used music all the time. Todd and the Book of Pure Evil did a metal episode. There's Gallivant, which aped everything musical from Little Mermaid to Hamilton, and most famously of all, is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer musical episode, Once More with Feeling, which debuted on November 6th, 2001. Now, contrary to popular belief, Joss Whedon did not craft the first genre musical episode. He invented Bad Horse and sing-along blogs, but no, it wasn't Buffy, but another woman, hero with complex, dramatic stories and quippy one-liners, who planted her flag atop the musical mountain first, way back on February 2nd, 1998. And her name is Xena, the warrior princess. Leather bodice, there's a flying circle thing, jumps around a bit, shouts like this. The first ever genre musical episode in question, The Bittersweet, is complicated to say the least. Like Buffy's Once More with Feeling, The Bittersweet is not part of a storyline you can easily just dive into. It takes place during a period on the show known as The Rift, where, short version, Xena's best friend Gabrielle has a child, Hope, who is a forced pregnancy by an evil god, Dahak. Xena thinks the child is evil, but Gabrielle is convinced that she isn't. Xena is not only right, she is so right that Hope winds up killing Xena's son, Solon, after which Gabrielle then poisons Hope. And now, Gabrielle and Xena, they enemies, girl. They're such enemies that Xena ties Gabrielle up and does what is infamously called the Gab Drag, where she drags Gabrielle from her horse all the way to a cliff, tries to throw her off of it. Then Gabrielle kicks her in the head and they fight until they fall off the cliff together, somehow. The only way to resolve this 8-episode dark arc? Musical! And that musical was quite an undertaking. 7 numbers, a temporary dance partner and instructor for Kevin Smith, who plays Ares, while Lucy Lawless dealt with a knee injury. There was an orchestra and a chorus. Lucy Lawless, Kevin Smith, Ted Raimi sang themselves, but a number of the other cast needed singers brought in for their parts. There's also the visuals and the costumes from the evil world they wind up in, which is called Illusia. All of which draw inspiration from specific tarot decks. Callisto plays the Fool, and then Justice later. Xena is the High Priestess, the Chariot, even Death. Joxer is the Hanged Man. Gabrielle is the Star, the Empress, and the World, and on and you get it. Also, blink and you'll miss it, but Carl Urban is there. The songs are pretty wild, each ramping up the conflict between Xena and Gabrielle until Xena thinks she's actually killed Gabrielle. But, like with most musicals, there's a happy ending. Xena and Gabrielle are friends again, and not dead. And also, they're not naked for no apparent reason, which happens a bunch in this episode. And the good news keeps on coming. Not only was The Bittersweet well received by fans, but it was also nominated for 2 Emmy Awards that year. Joseph LaDuca was nominated for Outstanding Music and Lyrics for The Love of Your Love, and LaDuca was joined by lyricist Dennis Spiegel in being nominated for Hearts Are Hurting in the same category. The Bittersweet was so successful that Xena returned to the musical genre 2 seasons later with Liar Liar Hearts on Fire. And there were musical elements to Xena and Hercules episodes like Men in Pink, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, A Tale of Two Muses, and, well, you get it, there's like a bunch of them. The Bittersweet started a craze, which would get picked up by Canadian sci-fi series Lex with an episode called Break of Doom, before finding its biggest mainstream appeal with Buffy the Vampire Slayer's Once More with Feeling. But would any of it happened? Without Xena, hard to say. Either way, now you know about Xena, the Bittersweet, and the genre TV musical that started it all.